Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm going to show you masking techniques to create this beautiful card. The card looks a lot more difficult than it actually is, and I'm going to show you how to make it step by step. This is going to use a lot of different colors and stamp sets, but it's still a very simple card to make. I'm starting off, I'm going to be using the Color Layering Flamingo by Hero Arts, Halftone Hello by Altenew, Flutter by a company called Memories. Let's see, this is Pool-riffic from Recollections, Tropical Parrot from MS Sparkle, and some rectangular dies from Spellbinders. You can use other stamps if you had them. You could use other dies. Yeah, I used the rectangle to make this a mask, and I also have some masking paper, which is in fact just a cut down label from Avery. Get 64 65 ID labels, and it has a very large label sheet which I was able to cut into pieces to use for my masking. So let's get started with the card. I'm going to take the third from the center of the dies and use this for my masking. I'm just taking this is the masking label, and I'm going to just run this through my Big Shot and cut out this shape. And when you do this, save both pieces. You need them both for this technique. I forgot to mention that this masking sheet is cut to the same dimensions as that paper, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And also you want to make sure that your die is as much in the center as you can get it. So now I have a frame and a rectangle. So this is not needed. Push this out of the way. And what I'm going to do is take the frame and hold it in place. Temporarily. And then I'm going to put this down by taking the paper off and put it in place. I'm going to need to grab my blade for this, I think. There we go. Okay. Now hold it in place and just put the rectangle right back in the hole. There we go. Don't throw this away, you're going to need it. So now that I have masked off the center, I'm just going to go and make my background with all of the different stamps one by one. And that's the background all made. Now what I want to do is take the frame and put that in place to protect the background that I just made. I need that again. Maybe not. And this is the trickiest part of the whole thing, is lining this up. Make sure you don't tear it. It's not the most dainty operation I've ever pulled off, but yeah, I am going to need that knife for this little corner. There. Now put this back carefully. Line up the bottoms. Now this is not quite right. This must be upside down. There we go. I'm going to pull this closer so I can see what I'm doing. Forgive me if my head gets in the way. Man, I did something. Must have been right the first time, so let's flip it around. And I told you how easy this was going to be, and now you see me struggling with it. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I had it upside down. So just lay this back in place. And take out the center part. And this is the area that was protected. Don't throw that away in case you want to make this card a second time. Make sure you have pressed down the edges on the inside. And now we'll move on to our ink blending. And I'm going to pull in my new water media mat that I got from Waffle Flower, so I can do my ink blending. And for this, I'm not going to use the Distress Oxide inks. I'm going to use the regular Distress inks. Same colors. And I'm going to start with put them in the right order. That's a tip when you're doing blended backgrounds of multiple colors. Lay your inks in the order that you're going to be using them, so that way you won't have to think about it when you go through. And I'm going to be using my new ink blending brushes. There's a video on my channel which I talk about this mat and these brushes. And now that I have that all done and blended the way I like it, I'm just going to pull back the mask paper. And that will reveal the work that we have done. I'm going to be careful not to tear it. But of course, if you weren't going to make this card again, it didn't matter. You could just go ahead and rip it off. And there. It's very easy to do, even though it looked like it was very difficult. Okay, the rest of the card is just simple assembling everything. So I'm going to go through and put the card together. If you want to learn more about how to do the 3-layer stamps, which is on the inside of the card. You can search my channel and find a video on several videos on how to do that. And that's the finished card. I decided at the last minute that I was going to sparkle up the flower centers a little bit. I think that looks a lot prettier. I hope you will try this masking yourself. It's very simple to do, and you can get this at Staples or any office supply store. And you could also use regular masking paper, which is offered in the craft store, but I find it to be a lot more expensive than the Avery label paper was. I got that tip from Jennifer McGuire on her channel, and I suggest you check her channel out for a lot of other good ideas for card making. I also wanted to mention that that black was foam. It wasn't cardstock. So this this flamingo is popped up on foam. And if you didn't have fun foam, you could just cut multiple copies of the flamingo and just glue them together and stack them one on top of the other, and you can get the same effect. I'd like to thank you for watching this video and all other videos on my channel. I hope you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'd like to thank my brother David also for the music that he has provided, and I hope that you are enjoying it. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.